Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hope that you guys have enjoyed your day. Well, honey, I want to talk about the MoNique interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay. So MoNique was on Club Shay Shay today. She spoke with Shannon Sharpe. I thought it was a great interview. She had some interesting things to say on the show concerning several celebrities. The first celebrities she was talking about, of course, which we know that she's been having a feud between Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels for over a decade. We know that a while ago, Lee Daniels apologized to her, but evidently Tyler Perry and Oprah have never apologized to her. And from what I felt was that MoNique was saying until they truly apologize to her and right to the wrongs that they did to her, the feud is never going to be over, and she's going to continue to speak about how badly they treated her. She also mentioned that her and Shannon mentioned that she that Shannon Sharpe heard the Tyler Perry recording. We heard about those recordings a couple of years ago. I actually have a video on my channel playing those recordings. He heard those recordings for himself. And I'm sorry, and MoNique asked him to, look at the camera and tell, pretty much say what he thought about the recordings. And he said he offered Tyler and Oprah to come on his show with MoNique and try to make things right, try to end the feud. We know that'll probably never happen. She also said that Tyler Perry also once had her in his dressing room, called her in his dressing room, and he said that he wanted to speak to her, but he didn't want to speak to her with her husband. So I'm assuming, MoNique, and the husband don't get along. And I think the reason why MoNique and the husband don't get along, is because MoNique said the husband, pretty much, speaks, man to man to him. He don't try to kiss his, what or anything like that. And she's thinking Tyler doesn't appreciate that, right? And so she also, like I said, spoke about other celebrities. She spoke about what she thought about Taraji P. Henson. We know that MoNique has for years been speaking out about the lack of pay, the unequal pay that she believes black female actors in Hollywood receive, as opposed to other non-black actors in Hollywood. She said that she feels like Taraji P. Henson is broken. She said that after Taraji P. Henson spoke her truth about Oprah, I said April child, then she had to turn around and pretty much kiss Oprah's behind. She wrote Oprah a love letter and all of this and all of that because people were saying, because Taraji and the girls spoke out about, the way that they were treated. They actually asked Taraji P. Henson to pretty much audition for The Color Purple, and MoNique didn't understand that because everybody knows the caliber of actor that Taraji P. Henson is, right? And we know that MoNique spoke about the fact that she's won all these accolades and stuff, but how easy it was for Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey to blackball her. And she also spoke about producer Will Packer. Will Packer also said that she was difficult to work with after she did the movie This Christmas for him. She pretty much said that he begged her to do the movie, and so she agreed to do the movie. But after she was I got on the set, said Will was running everything. He spoke to his, people really badly. She didn't like the way that he was treating his people. He said that he was the HNIC, around there. At one point in time, Taraji P. Henson spoke about one time she was in a trailer and it was roach infested, right? Well, honey, MoNique said their trailers blew up due to a gas leak. And the first thing that Will Packer asked her was about the wigs that she was wearing. So he was more worried about the wigs than the people on the set, child. And she said that about him. But we know that there are 2 or 3 sides to every story. But when everybody is, coming at MoNique in a derogatory way, and MoNique is trying to fight back, from what I've seen, these people that are coming at her in a derogatory manner are going to win, unfortunately, because she's going to continue to speak her truth. She also spoke, child, about D.L. Hughley. Oh, DL and MoNique have been going at it for years, right? So MoNique, first off, told us that she did an interview at one point in time, on his show, right? And she said at one point in the show they asked her to play a game called Would You Rather, right? And she said they started speaking very rudely about her husband, asking very rude and lewd questions when it came to her husband, right? She said she called DL and let him know what was going on, and he pretty much said that's how we do things, it is what it is, right? And so the interview was so bad and so derogatory towards her husband. She had her lawyer issue a cease and desist on the DL show. And that interview with MoNique on the show has never aired because of the cease and desist. That's how bad it was. And so, um, DL, honey, did a response towards MoNique, right? He said a lot of derogatory things about her, very mean spirited things. Like he said, MoNique, has to pay someone to love her, and he was saying it in reference to her husband. He mentioned that her family don't fool with her. But MoNique in the interview mentioned that she don't fool with her family. She said that her and her oldest son were not as close as she would like them to be, and she apologized for having to, work so hard and to do the things that she did early on in her career when she had him, right? She said that she now has a different relationship with her other children, as well as her grandchildren. DL pretty much called her a liar, for saying that. And DL also did a video. And he wrote this on his Instagram. He said the reason he's calling MoNique a liar. He said the reason lies and false narratives continue to go on and circulate is because they go unchecked. What you're not going to do is call me out by my name and not get checked. MoNique is a liar. That's what he's saying, on the Instagram post. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so mean spirited, right? He's and so disrespectful towards a woman. Let me just add, right? So he goes on to say that she is constantly throwing the rock and hiding the hand. You don't get to tear people down and then soften the blow by calling them brother, sister, sweet baby. That is not to love. He said, far from it. He said, I'm sure. I'm sure. What did it say? He said, I'm sure Ike thought he loved Tina too. Apologize. He said, I will never forgive or forget. I'm like, oh my goodness. He said, I will never forgive or forget the way you tried to manipulate my daughter's trauma to fit your sick narrative, child. He said, I don't play when it comes to mine because I love my family for real, and they actually love me back. Hashtag Team DL. I was like, wow. And what he was talking about was at one point in time, MoNique and him, going at it real tough. And she said that she said that DL allegedly watched his daughter get SA'd. And, of course, DL has vehemently said that that is an absolute lie. And for that reason, I guess they will never be, he said it's to the dirt with MoNique, right? Pretty much, right? But anyway, on a lighter note, she got to speaking about her and Shannon Sharpe spoke about their families. He said she reminded him of his aunt Mary, about the fact that she speaks the truth all the time. He got a good little kiki out of MoNique. At one point in time, MoNique told Shannon that he need to stop fooling with them young women and get him a woman his age, child, and get him a thick woman that could cook him a pound cake butt naked. I said, no, she didn't, child. I said that cognac, that port is getting to MoNique, child. But she had a lot of good things to say about Shannon Sharpe. I think she really liked him. I think she really appreciated, the way that made her feel comfortable, in the interview. So I thought that was cool. Now she also spoke about Kevin Hart, right? She said that when she was blackballed, her and her family fell on hard times because she couldn't work, couldn't make no money. Kevin Hart, aided her. She said that Kevin Hart wrote her a check because he knew that she was having hard times, and he said that I'll be here for you, like whatever you need, like we can work together or something like that, right? She said she did pay him the money's back that she loaned them with interest, right? So she said it came a point in time to where she found a production company that was willing to work, with her and her husband. But when the production company got in touch with Kevin Hart, Kevin Hart's people said that they didn't know nothing about it. So she called Kevin Hart, directly, and he was like, clearly it was a mistake, right? So she just said a couple of weeks went past, and she heard nothing from him, and she hasn't heard anything from him within a couple of years, and she feel like the reason why that was is because probably somebody got in his ear, or the gatekeepers got to him, and so he wouldn't work with her. He pretty much ghosted her, after that, but she still didn't say anything really derogatory about him. I think it's unfortunate what happened. You know what I mean? And also, I don't know what Tiffany Haddish said about MoNique Child, but MoNique said if Tiffany Haddish had a husband like hers, she wouldn't have all them DUIs. I said, oh no, she didn't. So she threw that little shade toward Tiffany Haddish. She talked about the Netflix deal, about her having to sue Netflix because they wouldn't pay her worth. They settled out of court in an undisclosed amount. She went on to do a Netflix show, and she said she enjoyed it. And Shannon asked her if she would do another Netflix special. She said she would. DL Hughley even threw shade towards the Netflix special. He said that it wasn't funny in his opinion, and he said like a lot of really, like I said, mean spirited things towards MoNique. I really feel. That in my opinion, DL Hughley was out of order and is out of order. They even worked together, were on tour together at one point in time, and they had a conflict there as well, right? Now, also, we know that some more and MoNique and some other ladies did the Queens of Comedy years ago, right? Along with the Kings of Comedy. So at one point in time, the Queens of Comedy and Kings of Comedy were on tour. And MoNique said at the end of the tour, well, during the tour and at the end of the tour, all the guys, all the Kings of Comedy, oh, and she loved Bernie Mac. She paid mad respect towards Bernie Mac. She said Bernie Mac was a real one. She said, but anyway, they're leaving the theater one night, and she noticed that all the guys had their own personal limousines, and when it came to the Queens of Comedy, they had to share a limousine. And MoNique said, this ain't gonna fly. If they get in their own limousine, we want our own individual limousines as well, right? And she also mentioned that they were paid less than the guys. She mentioned that at the end of the tour, all the Kings of Comedy were given Rolex watches, and evidently the women weren't given Rolex watches. She said she's still waiting for her watch, pretty much, right? And she said she is early on in her career, she had to even struggle to get paid, right? And she said that she will continue to speak out, and continue to fight for what's right when it comes to this industry, no matter what, because she is fighting for the young people behind her, just as people came before her, fought for her, right? And so, and the final synopsis when it comes to MoNique in this interview, I love this interview, and I wish that MoNique would do more interviews like this. Oh, she also spoke very very lovingly about Katt Williams. She feel like Katt Williams is a real one, and we know that Katt Williams is a real one, child. And so she spoke very well about him. And so overall I love the interview. The interview is doing really well so far. Shannon Sharpe treated her with dignity and respect, and I think that's most of all, that's what she appreciated when it came to this interview. So we're gonna have to see what Shannon Sharpe is coming up with next, honey, because the Club Shay Shay is on fire. But anyway, that's all I got. Let me know what y'all think about this commentary in the comment section below. Please like and share and subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe, please hit that notifications bell so that you will be notified when I drop another video. Thank you all. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye. Peace.